Tell me when. Hi. Welcome to Brunch with Brian. Hey, I missed you a couple days there. So we've been pretty busy. We've been at a couple of events. We were at this last summit, and that was great. Today, I'm going to talk about a deal that we did that we used a 1031 exchange on. So deals are obviously the driving force and the lifeblood of the business. Getting deals done, wrapped up, all the different parts of the deals. So every deal starts with you finding the customer and starting that initial contact. I want you to be very aware of your customer funnel. I talk about that sometimes. What's your customer funnel? What gets them to the phone call with you? Because that's basically where you make the deal or don't make the deal. We call that your closing call, and that's your meeting of the meeting of the minds, I call that. And either you make a deal there or you lose the deal there. That's why the closing call is so important and scary, because so much is riding on that. And so this last week at the summit, you saw us doing lots of closing calls. Lynette is awesome at closing calls. I used to do all the closing calls. Lynette, you're not even going to believe this, but Lynette was too afraid to do the closing calls on stage. Now she's really become the master of these calls. She has the best assumptive close I've ever seen. She's got just the words that that you work for her and that really work. She always gets a huge percentage of the deals, any deals that get closed, and that's super positive. So this deal, these deals that we were closing over the weekend, really were so instrumental to your success, because that's really, sometimes if you don't have a deal yet, I mean, that is what propels you forward. And that's and when we can be a part of that and help you get that deal closed, that is so awesome. So it is actually National Humor Day today, believe it or not. So it's National Garlic Day, Bicycle Day, and it's Humorous Day. I don't know why they call it Humorous Day, but so I got to tell you a couple of jokes, right? So Humorous Day. What's the hardest part about learning to ride a bike? The pavement. Hey, yeah, that's a good one. So there's this pedestrian walking along on the sidewalk, and he's looking at his phone. He's not really paying much attention, and he kind of wanders over and starts walking across the street without really looking, and all of a sudden a bicycle comes and plows into him and knocks him over and breaks his phone and everything. And he gets up and he's not really hurt, so he's brushed himself off, and the bicycler says, "Wow, I'm sorry I hit you, but you were lucky." And he goes, "What do you mean I was lucky? I just got plowed over by a bike." He goes, "Yeah, but normally I'm driving a bus." Okay, so let's do our deep breathing. Okay, that's, you got to remember to do these. Have you been doing them while I've been busy? Been away? So let's do our nice deep breath, and always smiling. Deep breath in. Hold it a sec and let it out. Okay, remember, let your muscles relax, your shoulders, your neck. Okay, deep breath in. Hold it a sec and let it go. All right, one more. This is good for you, this is so good for you, and it energizes you. And today, when you think about like grabbing something that's not so good, like eating some candy or something to pick up your energy, today do your deep breathing. Okay, promise me, it'll be really good. Instead of doing some little, not terrible bad compulsion, but a little bad habit maybe, try this, try deep breathing. Make that your new habit. Okay, ready, one more? Okay, hold it a little bit and, all right, awesome. If you do that a lot, you really do increase your lung capacity. So on this humor day, which I was talking about, there's a lot of really positive things to humor and smiling. And I always like to talk about benefits. So when we talk to a seller about a house, we have the list of benefits. And there's lots of seller benefits. Most of them are listed in the no objection answer. And you're just trying to hit all the benefits why they'd want to do it. So why do people like to do humor? Why do people like to laugh and smile? It increases your productivity and brain power, reduces stress and anxiety. If I can get you to just chuckle or even smile in the morning, it helps you cope and prevents burnout. it actually strengthens your immune system, relaxes your muscles, and helps people connect with humor. So you know what? Even if you're not really a big joke teller, and it's funny because I think back when I was a younger guy, when I was early in my 20s and that, having a sense of humor was like the biggest thing to me. I didn't even want to date somebody or be with somebody unless they had a great sense of humor. And so, and boy, that, I kind of drifted away from that being such a big important thing to me. But I think it should be, because having a good sense of humor keeps you more positive and keeps the tone between you and other people much more light and positive. So maybe you can look up a joke today. Or you can always steal one of my jokes. Some of them are okay. Some of them are actually pretty funny. So go ahead and steal my joke. I just wanted to mention, you know what, I don't have time to talk about this whole deal now. We had this one deal that we did that was 1031 exchange, but we did so many deals this last week and all around the country. And what I want you guys to look for, sometimes you're just looking for a single stress point in a deal for the seller that makes them more motivated. And so we just had so many deal meetings because we help participate. Now remember, you can do deal meetings virtually. And so what we do is we usually help our students by showing up at the deal meeting on a virtual call. So being on the phone to help out. And there was one that we helped out a student yesterday, and that particular one was very interesting. It was a deal where we think the house was worth about $750,000, and now they were late on their mortgage. And so that was the stress point in that deal. And the great thing about it was they had been behind and they'd been working out this loan modification. So if you're talking to any sellers and you run into a situation where someone's behind on payments, I want you to ask them what happened. I mean, if you guys build rapport, and I talk about this all the time, if you build the rapport, people are way more open. And sometimes people who need your help more are more open as well. So if someone's behind on their mortgage, sometimes they're more willing to kind of spill their guts and tell you what's going on. But that always starts with building a little bit of rapport. So build some great rapport in the beginning, and then ask them what's going on, how'd you get late and whatnot. And then if they've talked to the bank, that's really important. What was the last contact you had with the bank? And what's the status now? Find out if there's a foreclosure date. That's really important. Sometimes if there's a foreclosure date pending on just a couple of weeks, you've got to really jump on a fast horse, or else you're not going to get anything done. Or you're going to have to start working with the lender to try to get postponement. But sometimes they're too far gone. So one of the very early questions when you're talking to somebody who's late is, they sent you anything that notifies you when you're going to the courthouse steps, for the sale? So have they sent you any information about the foreclosure sale? So if that's the case, then you got to find out the dates. If they haven't, in fact, what you'd like to hear is that they've offered them some kind of a loan modification. That's very common now, and with the COVID, obviously that really affected the whole marketplace. And since lenders couldn't foreclose on people with the moratorium, a lot of them were pretty flexible offering loan modifications to try to get these out of the delinquency column. Remember, that's very bad for a lender to build up huge delinquency. The federal government, FDIC insured and all that, they'll only allow a bank to have so much delinquency on their books, and they'll actually stop them from making new loans. So they have to be careful about things like that. That's why they'd like to resolve delinquency, and that's why they offer people loan mods. So if you talk to a seller who's delinquent, ask them if there's a foreclosure date, ask them what the last contact they had with the bank was, ask them if they have offered a loan modification or talked about it. And on this particular deal, they hadn't only talked about it, he'd actually been working on it with them, and I think it's pretty much completed. So if you walk into a situation where they just completed a loan mod, usually what they have to do is make 3 payments on time to, make that instituted as the new payment and the new way that the loan is structured. So they'll take the delinquency in that situation and put it all. They're not forgiving it. Actually, in some cases, they'd forgive parts of it or lawyer fees or something, but generally they're taking that delinquency and putting it on the end of the loan, thereby increasing the amount. So it's going to pay off, you're not going to pay it off on the same schedule. They actually redo the loan and create a new amortization schedule. So that's a loan mod. So a lot of times if they get the loan mod and they're moving on anyway, you've got this nice loan mod with a nice payment that you can take over subject to or with a wrap, and the deal's just waiting for you there, and they still have that level of motivation to move on. So you've got a motivated seller and a perfect deal. That's what this deal was that we helped a student close live this weekend. And so that's the kind of deals that I want you. You're going to run into a lot of delinquency out there with sellers, so be very aware of the steps that I just went through. So I didn't intend to cover the steps of dealing with late delinquent sellers, but that's what we ended up talking about because of these deals we were working on. So we want to work on deals for you. There's actually a Quick Start Real Estate School. If you guys were, if you're affiliated with Global Publishing and Ron LeGrand at all, if you know about them, maybe you were at the summit, maybe you're going to be at the Quick Start Real Estate School coming up. So that's this week, actually. So guys, I'm going to have another challenge doing all the Brunch with Brian's. I'm going to, and I don't like to, be opposite the Quick Start if I can avoid it, but I do like to pop on and say hi. So I'll probably pop on and say hi tomorrow, and we'll just see how the week goes. I know Wednesday I can't for sure, and probably Thursday and Friday I'm not going to promise anything. So I think you'll see me tomorrow, and I'm not sure if you'll see me again this week on Brunch with Brian after that, because we might be busy right at this time. So I love sharing this time with you guys as always, and let's keep cooking, let's keep doing deals. We are on the phone so much with you guys, helping you close your deals, and it's exciting to us, and what could be better? I think I mentioned on the event last week that our top priority is your deal meetings, because that's where you get the deal closed. So let us help you. We are here for you in any way we can be. Call the office anytime, talk to Dashel, talk to us. We can get on the phone with you if you have any questions about any events. We also have our normal virtual one day coming up, and we're going to be doing Leads to Deeds again soon. So keep your eyes out for that, and we'll see you there. Guys, if you live in LA, we're doing an event in LA. So if you are part of the real estate investing group out there, send us an email. If you're part of that group out there, send us an email or call the office, because I'd really like to talk to you in advance. So if you're part of that LA group. So until then, guys, we will see you probably tomorrow, and we'll see about the rest of the week. But as always, I love spending this time with you guys. Hopefully you had a smile, some positive thinking, a few always great real estate tips, and a little bit of time with me. So hopefully that will make your day that much better. So until I see you tomorrow, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and as always, taking action.